Hey, what's up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a beastly player review here on FIFA 17. Let's take a look at the second in form, Syn Modeste. So the Frenchman plays his football in the Bundesliga and is now 86 rated. He's got 81 pace and 82 dribbling, 89 shooting and 86 physical. Of course, he is a 6'2" striker, medium work rates, right-footed with the pretty average, I would say, 3-star skills and weak foot. So I've got a couple of different teams that you could play him in. The first one, I slotted him into my Bundesliga side. It's a very colourful team, lots of special items in there, and Modeste would fit in perfectly up front in that 2-striker formation with the SBC Aubameyang. However, I played him in the same formation in a French team. I went full on France. They've got some very good players this year, and I wanted to test him out alongside the much lower rated second in form Mbappe from Monaco. And, well, it was a great team and it worked out very well for me. So moving on into the in-game stats, of course Modeste started as an 80 rated player and got boosted up to an 82 with the ratings refresh. That is why he now has this 86 rated second in form. It's a lot higher rated than it would have been without that ratings refresh. Some of his in-game stats are pretty impressive. I've gone down the route of engine today because I definitely felt like we needed to boost the old pace and dribbling stat. I was happy with the 89 shooting. His physical's fine in my opinion. You know, he's already got 93 strength by default. So let's just try and make him slightly more agile and stuff because of course that could be a bit of an issue. Now this leads me on to the pros and cons for the Frenchman. We'll talk about the negatives first, get them out of the way. What you get with Modeste is, of course, someone who has only got the pretty average 3-star skills and weak foot. Did I notice this? Well, yeah, I'd say I did actually. Like, I was wishing and hoping for 4-star skills many a time when I was on my attack, and obviously I know that he doesn't have them. And the reason you notice it slightly more with a player like Modeste is because he's quite tall and bulky and from time to time would feel a little bit clunky. Yeah, the odd Berber spin here and there would obviously help in his attack, get him a little bit more space, and he doesn't necessarily do the LTRT and the no-touch dribbling as well as smaller players with a better centre of gravity, even if they had lesser skill moves. His stamina also, I was kind of annoyed. I didn't like it so much, you know. It was still quite a low in-game stat. It is his second special item, so I was hoping for something slightly better. But I definitely noticed from around, I would say, I don't know, 3/4 of the way into the game, 70th, 75th minute, that type of thing, you would start to notice a slowdown in Modeste, and he's not the quickest player to begin with, so it's quite noticeable. And then of course agility and balance are relatively low stats. I did my best to boost them with the engine chemistry style, but I don't think it made a whole lot of difference, if I'm honest. Still got relatively low stats in those two departments. But moving on to the pros, it's not doom and gloom because actually Modeste was a great goal scorer for me and I thoroughly enjoyed him. The first thing I noticed though was, even though we said he's not so quick, and I mean that off the mark, his sprint speed is actually pretty impressive. High 80s stats, and well, once he gets going, it's a pretty big job to try and stop him because, well, one, he's got an awful lot of strength and he's a very big and bulky player. You know, he's got that 93 strength off the bat, which is very impressive. You can play the ball into him and he's going to hold off those defenders with ease using that strength button on your controller. The defenders don't really have much of a chance. I also noticed that Modeste had great positioning, very well positioned, this player, whether it be on the shoulder of the last defender ready to get that sprint speed going to try and run through him like a train, or whether it is just literally in the box ready to receive the ball on his head to nod it home. You know, he's got very good positioning, and that leads me on to the next positive here, which is that he's a great target man. You know, you can definitely whip the ball up from goal kicks. You'll notice a few of the goals here were headers from inside the box. I mean, that particular time, he went for a lovely bicycle kick, and I've got to say, that's a fantastic goal by the Frenchman, which shows that he can also do stuff like that. It's a bit weird, but yeah, overall, he's a very versatile finisher. Whether it's long shots that you've seen in this video, tap-ins from inside the box, headers at the near post, or acrobatic scissor kicks, he can kind of do it all. He's not the best player I've used by a long shot, and he can sometimes feel somewhat clunky, but he's definitely a clinical finisher of the ball and would fit in very well in a two-striker formation French side with someone slightly quicker next to him. So I hope that has been useful for you guys. I hope you now know whether or not the second inform Modeste is right for your ultimate team. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.